Hey everyone, I'm back. It's Amanda. This is going to be my video teaching you about highlighting and contouring, as well as about our foundations that we have at Younique. So, as I covered in my previous video, you have your face cleansed, moisturized, and primed. So now we're ready to go to foundations. If you don't know or don't currently do highlighting and contouring, or don't know what it is, let me take just a second to explain. Highlighting and contouring is basically like Photoshop with makeup. What you want to do is you contour areas where you want to diminish, such as like if you have a wide nose, you can contour down the sides of your nose so it makes it appear thinner. If you've got a large forehead, you can contour around the top, right around your hairline, to kind of give it a shadow and make your forehead look, smaller. You also want to contour right under your cheekbones, and it will create the shadow or the illusion of depth there to make your cheekbones really pop. So what you normally do for contouring is you take a foundation that can be a powder, it can be a cream, it can be a liquid, a concealer, 2 shades darker than your regular skin tone. That's for contouring. Then highlighting, that is to brighten or to draw attention to areas that you want, attention drawn to. Normally want to highlight right in between your eyes, between your eye and nose, right in the corners. Highlight right between your eyebrows at the bottom part of your forehead, kind of like an upside down triangle, and highlight underneath your eyes out toward, onto the apples of your cheeks and above your cheekbone. And I normally like to highlight just a bit right on my chin. So, trying to get my light here. Looks like got a bit of a shadow going on. I highlight and contour several different ways. Sometimes I do it with our Younique mineral concealer. I think that this throws a lot of people off at being called a concealer, but it's just loose powder. So it's not specifically to conceal. You can use it as a concealer, but it's all over face powder. We also have our Flawless BB cream, and that can be used to highlight and contour as well. Make sure you see that. And then, in addition to those, we have our Mineral Touch foundations. These are available in the cream foundation or the pressed powder. So you can really choose what works best for you. Keep in mind that the BB cream is actually a tinted moisturizer. So if your face is already combination or oily, you don't really need the extra moisture. So it's best to stay away from the BB cream and stick with a powdered foundation. If you want more coverage, then the cream foundation is perfectly fine. But to offset that oil, I would recommend finishing it off with either our pressed powder touch foundation or the loose powder mineral concealers. Okay, so the way I'm going to do my highlighting and contouring today is, I don't know if I said that the highlighting is supposed to be 2 shades, 1 to 2 shades, but you really get the best effect if you go 2 shades. 2 shades lighter for your highlighting. So, what I'm going to do is get my concealer that's 2 shades lighter. Okay, before I start the highlighting and actually contouring, I'm going to just apply my all over cream foundation. And I'm going to get in close to the camera so you can see how my skin looks right now. You can see imperfections, and I've got some acne scarring, and I'm very veiny. I have a lot of veins that you can see. So I'm just coming in close so that you can see the coverage that this actually gives. I like to use, for the BB cream, I love to use a foundation brush. But for our cream foundation, I prefer to use a beauty blender. Hoping Younique comes out with their own beauty blender soon. And the cream foundations, it does come, and the pressed powder, the touch, they come with their own makeup sponge. I just like to get in there really good with my beauty blender. I feel like there should be some background music playing while y'all are waiting on me to finish this up. You always want to make sure you blend very good at the jawline. Doesn't want to look like you're wearing a mask. People will be able to see a big line there where your makeup stops. I know I see women like that all the time. Their makeup just stops right at their jawline. Okay, so now I have my cream foundation applied all over. Let me get in there. That way you can see the coverage with just that. As you can tell, this is amazing, amazing coverage. When it came out, everybody was saying it was like using a filter on their selfies, but no filter, just our awesome makeup. Okay, so now that I've got that, I want to highlight. And as I said, I highlight down the front of my nose. And you can use a concealer brush or a foundation brush to do this. If you're using cream foundation, you can use a beauty blender. Since I'm using powder, I'll use a concealer brush on the contouring. But on the highlighting, since it's such a light product, I like to use a foundation brush just because it picks up more product and I don't have to keep going over it and over it and over it. Okay, so you want your nose, your upside down triangle between your eyebrows. From beside your nose all the way out to the corners of your eyes and down to the apples of your cheeks. And as I said, I like to do it right there on my chin, just to make my chin pop a little bit. I don't have a tiny chin, but I don't have a big chin either, and I just like to lighten it up a little bit. Okay, so I think you can see where I've highlighted. Now, I want to show you something else that we can do. As I said, I was going to show you the rose water. Here's our refreshed rose water. Getting a little tongue-tied there. This can be used, like I said, it can be used as a toner as part of your skincare. It can be used to set your makeup after you have completed applying it. You just mist it very lightly. You don't want to soak your face, but just mist it lightly. You can also moisturize your face, give your face a little botanical moisture boost throughout the day, just with a little bit of sprinkles. Or you can also lightly mist any brushes that you're using during your makeup process, and dip the dampened brush into any of our pigments or powdered products and apply it. Do you see the difference that just made? Turn basically any of our powders into creams. That easy. You can also mix it directly into the lid by spraying a little bit of rose water into the lid of the product, but I find I get better consistency if I just spray my brush. I always seem to get way too much of the rose water in my lid, and then it takes too much powder to equal out the consistency, and then I wind up having to dump it because I can't put the lid back on my product with a wet cream inside of it. So I find it's just a lot easier just to dampen your brush. And it's that easy. Okay, next up is the contouring. Now, I generally like to use one of our darker brown concealers like Foxy or Fierce, but I have contoured many times with the BB cream. This one is Caramel, which is 2 shades darker for me. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use both. So for the contouring, I'm using the concealer brush. And I'm going to take just a little bit of BB cream, and I'm going to come right up here around my hairline, top of my forehead, and just make sure, and you want to blend it pretty well. Work it in there. I always come down the side of my nose, as you can see right through here. That just creates a little bit of shadow and ultimately makes your nose just look a little thinner and sharper. Don't forget, underneath your cheekbone. The best way to do that is by sucking in and applying it right in the hollows under your cheekbone. Sometimes I'll come right up here above my eyebrows and just, I don't do it as dramatic as my other contouring, but I will pick up just a little bit of that darker shade. And I also don't like my wide, boxy jaws, so I like to contour just a little bit right in here. Kind of helps them not to look as boxy. Okay, so now I've done all my contouring with the BB cream. I'm going to show you how, if you would rather do it with one of our darker shades of concealer, you can do that as well. I'm just going to go over the same spots that I just contoured with the BB cream, and I'm going to do it with the powder. And like I said, you can do both. You can do one or the other. If you're a presenter and you don't have multiple shades of the BB cream or don't want to invest in multiple shades of foundation, then you could certainly use the concealers from your presenter's kit to do your highlighting and contouring. Or you could also order a foundation, a concealer or BB cream, your choice, 2 shades lighter than your skin tone, and another one that's 2 shades darker than your skin tone, and that would be your highlight and your contour. And then you could just take a small portion of each of them and blend it for your all over foundation. There's several options. You can also, if you're just getting started with your makeup set, you can check out any of our collections. Get them at a really, you get the products included at a really deep discount. Normally they're about 15 to 20% off individual prices if you buy them in a collection. And if you would like to host a virtual party, you just need $200 in sales to qualify for Hostess rewards, which that's super easy to do. And at the $200 level, you get $20 in YCash, which is product credit, and you get 1 half price item. So if you earn a half price item, Younique is very awesome. They let us apply a half price item to collections. So you can get a $200 collection that actually has about a $250 value, and you can apply that half price item to it and get it for $100 plus shipping and tax. So that's an amazing, amazing deal. Okay, so now I'm highlighted and contoured. Do I look crazy yet? Okay, here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to take my fabulous concealer and my wonderful powder puff brush from Younique. And I'm going to come over with some of my, this is the Fabulous concealer that I'm using. I like to use it to really get in there and blend my highlighting and contouring. Our concealer powders come in 6 different shades. So there's pretty much a shade for everyone. And there's no fillers, no talc, no parabens. It's just pure minerals. So if you're prone to breakouts, or concerned about your skin, of course every person's different, so there's no guarantees, but you're going to be doing pretty good with the Younique line because, as I said, it's just pure minerals. I know before Younique, I was terrible to get breakouts every time I would wear makeup. So I would normally just wear makeup maybe once a week, if that, just on date night or something. Try to get a little bit fixed up. And by the next day, I could already feel a sore spot, little zit coming up. And I know that the Awake and the Brilliant, our cleanser moisturizer, has played a huge part in my skin clearing up. But my makeup that I use it's actually good for my skin. It doesn't, you know, cause me to have breakouts and all that. It's wonderful. So as you can see, I've just blended using my fabulous, it is fabulous, but that's really the color of it, my fabulous concealer. So now what I'm going to do is come back with my Mineral Touch pressed powder. This is absolutely the best. It's one of my favorite products. I love it. It really provides just a flawless finish to your makeup. And you can see that even though I've come back and blended over my highlighting and contouring with now 2 different powders, which you don't have to use 2. I just want to demonstrate how you would do it with each different product. But now that I have come back with 2 different products over it, you can still see. You see this? See the shadow for my cheekbone? The shadowing, and it's kind of an optical illusion, really. Like around my nose, you can't really see a defined line because it's all been blended. But you can definitely tell a difference. And like I said, even though it's all been blended, you can still see where I've highlighted and contoured. So let me come in there and give you a close-up here. Can you see how clear everything is? It really is amazing, this coverage. And like I said, it's makeup that's good for your skin. It's really amazing. So that is my Younique foundations video and highlighting and contouring. Check me out on my next video, which is going to be all about the eyes. And then I'll do one more that is the finishing touches, which is blush and lips. Okay, see you next video. Bye guys.